as you light all three ends at the same time, creating a trifecta of joint smoking power.
What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
And we're back. One Piece, Chapter 10-12 is out. Normally I shoot these on Sundays after the official comes out to see if there's anything different. I'm shooting this on a Saturday today because tomorrow, Sunday, is Chrissy's first Mother's Day, so I want to get this out before that. That being said, I'm going to try and get through this rather quickly. If there's not as much edits as normal, that's fine. Hope the intro sufficed. This was a fun chapter. It was a funny chapter. We had a great stream, all right, which was made even better because I took a lot of your suggestions and opened the channel up to being able to be joined. So we were able to put emojis in the chat. Over the course of the stream, we had 16 people join the channel, which is wild, okay? No obligation to anybody, of course. It's just if you want to support the channel, I can't overpromise too much in terms of exclusivity and all of that. Of course, during the streams, I'll read your comments and, anything like that if you join the channel, of course. And at the end of the video, I'll be shouting out everybody that joined and so on and so forth. But moving on, we did also have the Underrated Moments stream with a special guest appearance by Brago, BDA Law. We got people in the chat saying we're waiting for that collab stream. Oh, you heard it here first, guys. Brago D Ace. Collab stream definitely will be happening soon. That was fun too, so you can check that out if you want. All right, let's get into the chapter. Oh, wow. It is Zoro. Sanji's the one who wrapped him up. He's out here looking like, what is it, Wolfwood from Trigun? So we got some great stuff this chapter. My favorite part, of course, is the Sanji and Zoro stuff. Hilarious, okay? I can't wait for them to make a figure of, of the Zoropack. Trifecta Zoro, Marimo Express. That's gonna be great. I might even try and take some gauze and and make a custom one of my own for the, the time being. Yeah, we had some great Sanji and Zoro just interactions here. I love the bro moments when they show how much they believe in Luffy. Sanji's obviously right. Will probably go down as an underrated moment. And, to the highly regarded moment that will be the Zoropack. But this is an interesting development. It's not anything that anybody would have expected. And that's what's brilliant. That's, those are those Oda flavors, those Oda twists. Sanji and Zoro, they meet up with Kawamatsu and Izo. They're on their way to the live floor, where Queen is, where Chopper is, Marco, King, Hyogoro, Perospero, etc. The way that I see this happening is, and I've said this before, I expect Perospero to interfere with Marco's battle, right? Oda has been, hammering the fact that Marco's flames do not burn. And we know that fire does melt Perospero's candy, so that makes Perospero sort of the perfect counter to Marco. And if he traps him in candy, that's going to make for a great Sanji moment when he rescues him. I would love to see some blows exchanged between Perospero and Sanji, but now that we know that Nekomamashi is hot on the heels of Perospero. We know that Nekomamashi and Pedro did have a strong relationship. They had a lot of interactions during Zo, so it makes sense. Nekomamashi did not know that Pedro was dead. This is good information. I don't know why Barriette is on Onigashima, but hey, they're there. So I see a situation where Sanji, is probably going to, interact with Perospero, but Nekomamashi is going to take over that fight. And that'll be interesting as well, because you got to understand that Perospero is sort of a tricky character. While Nekomamushi, could hold his own against Jack and things like that, even with or without Sulong form, Perospero's candy might prove tricky if you don't have some sort of fire-based ability. Keeping in line with that, but then moving on to, the stuff at the end of the chapter. First, let's talk about ulti, right?
Savage.
Yeah. Garbage. All right? Ulti, you're in the trash now. Don't slap my girl Tama. All right? You're out of here.
I disassociate myself from
I got a
these
great
people.
comment from Ron Gamer 123, which I'm going to read, right? He says, Ulti justifies hitting Tama because Big Mom hit page 1. Big Mom hit page 1 because the Beast Pirates burned Okabori Town. In both cases, someone got punished for something they didn't do. This is the theme of revenge and hatred being passed down to someone innocent in Wano. Orochi suffering as a kid because he's a Kurozumi, and Momo suffering now because he's a Kozuki, right? Now, this is something that we brought up in the Tama theory as well, that essentially, all of this really comes down to Sukiyaki's fault. He was born, that's, by taking too long to be born, he, Orochi's grandfather set everything in motion for the Kurozumis to, have their downfall, right? But this idea of, misunderstandings and all this other stuff, and it also ties into the Nekomamushi stuff as well, because here is Perospero, right? And he's getting blamed for Pedro blowing himself up, right? This man was protecting his family, protecting his territory, right? And then here comes Pedro, and he blows himself up. Now he gets attacked by Carrot. He's blamed for this. He didn't light the dynamite, all right? He's not completely responsible. Who is?
Savage.
Big Mom for, setting up the tea party with the Vinsmokes. Sanji for choosing to go to the tea party, right? So I found that interesting because that was also a funny moment in the chapter as well, where Nami was trying to flip everything and get Ulti and Big Mom to go against each other. When it didn't work, then she flipped it again. There's just a lot of great humor in this chapter. So the last page, right? That's mothering mode to the fullest, okay? Especially for a chapter that's technically going to release on Mother's Day. We know that Nami has always had this side of her, right? I mean, it even goes all the way back to Arlong Park. But we really saw it explored during Punk Hazard. And, this comes from Belmere, everything like that. Her interactions with Tashigi saying, hey, I can't, I have a soft spot for female Marines. But then also, the plight of wanting to save all of those kids. Now, Tama gets slapped, hey, that's future Straw Hat Otama right there. So, that's not only a friend, that's a future member of the crew right there. You got to stand up for your people, okay? Ulti's still in the trash can for hitting Tama. But let's talk about, come on. Tama gets slapped, but she's taking it like a champ. I mean, this is someone who survived a hit from Kaido and also managed to retain speed as a, under her control, right? So sugar rules don't apply. If Tama gets beat up, Tama gets knocked out, it doesn't matter. Like, her power is still going to be effective, which is broken and awesome. Now, what Oda wants you to think about here is, are Nami and Big Mom going to team up? Right? Is this going to be Nami and Big Mom versus Ulti? Which is definitely something nobody would have predicted and would be, amazing. Zeus shows up. Both of them harness the power of Zeus. Nami beefs him up. Big Mom uses it, final attack, take out Ulti. Maybe. I'm here for it if it happens. Page 1 seems to be out. Moment of silence for our boy Camaccio. Man. Where does this leave Usopp? That's a big question. The reason why I was so gung-ho about TTK was that I wanted that to be Usopp's big moment in Wano. Firing that dango at Kaido. But, from here, I guess he could fight some of the numbers. I wanted Usopp to take out Ulti, but it seems like Oda's really going to have this be a Nami versus Ulti fight, and I'm okay with that. And I love the very last panel, just talking about her conviction. It's my favorite word, and I love when it gets used in the series. All right, so jumping back to the beginning of the chapter, right, with the scabbards, it's kind of crazy, the panel with Kiku, talking to Izo, and, they're talking about how Kiku just lost an arm and everything, is she okay, etc. And Kiku, with a smile on her face, says, "Oh, this doesn't hurt nearly as much as you leaving." It's just... savage. Like, really, Izo left and, probably didn't even send a letter. Yeah. Kiku just, slapped Izo with the one arm that she has left. I don't like the idea of Kiku versus Kanjuro, because there really hasn't been anything in the story that makes me think that Kiku deserves to take down Kanjuro, but I'm glad that Kinemon is with her, right? And I saw some theory online, because there was this panel of Kinemon looking back with 3 dots, where people are like, "Oh wait, is tinfoil?" They're like, "Is Kinemon actually a Kanjuro clone too?" It would be an okay twist, and it's like, who can you trust now, I guess, but I don't see it. I think that's basically just sort of Kinemon saying, "Hey, Kiku, you only have one arm now, are you sure? All right, let's go." So that'll happen. Where's Denjiro, right? There's 2 possibilities for this, considering that Kawamatsu is on his way to the basically the live room floor, unless he splits off or Izo splits off as well. Denjiro may either be finding the hidden person from the storeroom, which is either Hiyori or Toki. If it's Hiyori, that makes sense, because we get a Denjiro and Hiyori conversation. But what's also likely is there's a pre-established relationship between Sasaki and Denjiro. Could Denjiro get involved with Frankie's fight? I have always felt that if any of the Tobiropo members were going to flip sides, other than Drake, it's going to be Sasaki, right? And I'm still holding out for the Kokoro's son theory as well. And last but not least, because there was so much that actually happened this chapter, it seems like Oda's trying to ramp up the pace to get to someplace, and like I said, 10:14 is the end of the volume, so it's very possible that he wants to end it with some sort of a strong cliffhanger. But this Yamato and Momonosuke stuff, another funny part of the chapter, Yamato's face, and then making the doll, right? That's hilarious. Yamato, he wants to get to the roof, it seems. I don't, okay, I guess it makes sense if Yamato wants to get involved in that fight, but, Yamato, we don't really know you yet. We still need that flashback, so maybe this will be the catalyst to get us there. What I also see possibly happening is Yamato runs into Jack after he's just finished off Inuarashi, and then Jack and Yamato face off. I've been talking about that for a while if you've been, following the channel. Either way, I think that Yamato is going to end up reuniting with Momonosuke, because Yamato is Momonosuke's clue on how to use his powers. Now, this stuff with the journal is interesting as well, the logbook, right? Momonosuke is reading spoilers. But could this be where he finds out that he's an ancient weapon? Now, Yamato said many chapters ago, after leaving the Frankie and Sasaki battle, that Momo is important, that there's something that Odin knew about Momonosuke that was written in that logbook that has really gotten Yamato fired up. So, did Odin know how important Momonosuke was? Did he know the connection to Zunisha? Did he know this possibility that Momonosuke could be an ancient weapon? This is what's going to get us there. This is the wild stuff, right? I'd like to see Law run into CP0. Let's feed that sword agenda. It's there's going to be a lot of interesting developments that's going to come from this chapter. And next week, I would really love to get an update on Jinbei. I'm expecting, at some point a chapter very much in the style of, I think it was 998 or 999 when, we got to see all of the Toby Roppo use their devil fruits, and we just got little vignettes of the fights. I'm expecting we're gonna get stuff like that pretty soon as Oda gets closer to ending Volume 100, which I would hope will end the act. Let me get that act break. Is Zoro down for the count? Maybe. I still fully expect him to take out Orochi, and that's something that could potentially even happen in a later act. It's not that Orochi needs to get killed in the next 10 chapters. But, it's funny that he says, he basically tells Sanji to go to the live floor. And why would he want to do that? Maybe because Chopper's there, Marco's there. I don't know if Zoro necessarily knows that Marco's a doctor, but, he definitely knows that Chopper's there, right? So he just wants to, get bandaged properly. So we'll see if he actually gets bandaged properly. Will that hold his 20 to 30 broken bones in place? Can Marco do some healing trickery and all this stuff? I also love how Law is just like, yeah, I'm a doctor, but I'm not going to do anything later. But either way, I think we might continue on with another update on this. We will probably get a little bit of a continuation of the Nami stuff, which, has been sort of the through line for the past couple of chapters. And, I also said that we were going to continue through that line, so we might do that again. Because it's obvious that something's being set up there. Kid needs to show up, and, there's likely going to be an interaction where Kid is trying to fight Big Mom, but Big Mom is actually taking out Ulti and helping Nami, and Nami's going to have to try and convince Kid to, back away. Let this all happen. So I'm going to wrap things up here, guys, because I think that the video is already longer than I intended it to be. I want to thank everybody that came to the stream. I want to thank everybody that joined the channel now that that's a thing. We got 16 members, like I mentioned. I want to shout them out. Every time we get a new member, I'll shout you out in the review for that week. So right now we've got Ryo, Zoe, Opopa, Maximilian, Gabe C, Barry Motivated, Lucy B, AJ1218, Bernardo, Donnie Luciano, Ness, Justin O'Malley, Enigma Sword, first member of the channel, Maxo, The Richmeister, and Ultima. So, thanks. Big shout out to all of you guys. I'm looking forward to 1013. I want to see where this is going. And be on the lookout. I'm going to share my thoughts on the popularity poll and the Viver cards in a separate video. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.